You made it. Today is our last day in the book of Jeremiah together. I hope that you've been able to move through the book with a little more understanding and a little more appreciation. I hope that this has been a meaningful experience for you, especially as we're moving toward Easter, toward this burst of hope and of victory and joy that comes with Easter. Today we're going to finish Jeremiah with chapter 52. And one thing you need to know about Jeremiah 52 is that it is not written by Jeremiah. It is the last chapter of the book of 2 Kings, 2 Kings 25, that an inspired author has been led by the Spirit to copy and paste into the end of Jeremiah as a kind of resolution. And the part of this passage that I want you to notice, because the first part is the fall of Jerusalem. Okay, we've done this before. We know the fall of Jerusalem. We've been down this road so many times. We're more familiar with it than we ever thought we wanted to be. So the part that I want you to notice is verses 31 to 34, the last paragraph of the whole book. You know, sometimes if you're watching a movie, you go through the whole finale of the movie, and then the screen goes black, and then it'll say 2 years later. And then you get one last scene. That's kind of what verses 31 to 34 are. After verse 30, the screen goes black, and then we get 25 years later. And what happens is the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, dies, and his son becomes king. His son is Evil-Merodach. And when Evil-Merodach becomes king, he takes this Jew, he finds this Jew named Jehoiakim and brings him up to eat at table with him. He gives him a place of honor, he provides him food and all this. Now, Jehoiakim was a minor character in the story of Jeremiah. He's a minor character in the book of 2 Kings that tells the story also. He is one of the kings of Judah, but he was only king for like 3 months. His dad was the wicked king Jehoiakim, with an M, and Jehoiakim died during the siege of Jerusalem, the first time that it fell. And when Jehoiakim died, Jehoiakim, with an N, became king. He's only king for 3 months. He's a teenager. He gives up, surrenders to Babylon, and he's taken off into exile in chains, and we don't hear from him again until the screen goes black 25 years later. And here is Babylon exalting him and giving him a place of honor. You see, we thought that when Jerusalem fell, that was the end. That was the end of David's line. That was the end of monarchy. That was the end of Israel. That's the end of the covenant promises of God. That God's faithfulness is nowhere to be found. We thought that humanity had no hope. We thought creation had no hope. But Jehoiakim is the rightful heir to David's throne. And if he is alive, and not just alive, but is being cared for and preserved and provided for, then there is hope for Israel to be reborn. And there is hope for the monarchy. There is hope for David's line. There's hope for a Messiah. There's hope for humanity. There's hope for creation. And in fact, Jehoiakim, this minor character who we haven't heard from in decades, he appears in the genealogy of Jesus in Matthew chapter 1. So this whole book is pointing toward Jesus, and it ends with this note of hope and possibility for redemption. Thank you for going on this journey with me. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Jeremiah chapter 52 today. I love you all. Happy reading.